Alright, welcome again everyone. This is now how we're going to do the repair on an E46 convertible. This is an M3. The roof latch mechanism gear has broken. So when you try to use the roof, you hear the motor spinning and it's not doing anything in terms of adjusting the latching mechanism. So what we'll need to do, there are two screws that are under here, the T30 screws for here. There is one, there's another one here. So you're going to remove those two screws. This piece here will drop and there will be a hole right here. So you're going to use a 5mm slim Torx bit, or you can use, as in my case, I use a flat point screwdriver. Now this is long enough to insert it into the hole and it will fit into the gear for the latch, and you turn it anti-clockwise to release the latch. That will tilt the front, exposing the screws that you will use now to pull the cover. This cover here, you'll have to remove it, exposing the motor and the gear mechanism, and then you just replace it. And let's move on to the next step. Alright, so after we have removed the front cover, the two 10mm nuts that hold the motor in place, and behind here is where we're after. The gear is here, that is stripped and it needs to be replaced. So there are 6 T10 screws that hold the cover on. So right now we're just going to remove the screws. This T10 Torx bit. So we're going to remove the screws and then remove the old gear and replace it with the new one. Alright, so I've removed the screws. Now the reason for not taking this out completely is that these have to remain in sync, the latches have to remain in sync, and removing this now might disrupt that sync and we'll have to set it all over. So to avoid that, we're just dealing with it still attached. So we're just going to take this cover off, which will expose the gear, and we'll replace it with the new one. Alright, so we have removed it, which now expose the gear. Now the gear fit right in here. And this is what happened to it. It's broken. There are the pieces right here, all broken up into pieces. So now removing the old pieces, bearings and bushings. Alright, so this is the new piece, upgraded piece. So now it's a metal gear and not a plastic one. So in order to replace this, it's just the opposite of removal. And so you ensure that the new part is properly greased, and now you're going to fit it back into the slot. That's right here. And then following that, you're going to replace the cover and secure it with the screws that were used to hold it in place. You're going to put it on like this and replace the 6 screws that held the cover back in. Right, so all 6 screws have been replaced, and now to secure the motor assembly back in its position, I'm going to affix a little clip at the back. And then there's a clip that fits into that little slot at the back, little pin. So we're going to fit that in, and then this goes up. And then replace the 2 10mm nuts. And tighten them to spec, and then you're going to replace the cover. Alright, so it's all put back together, and now for the testing. So already had it half open. Alright, so now right, all good to go. Light stop flashing to show that the movement is completed. Right, and that is how you replace a broken gear for the roof latch on an E46 M3 convertible, which is pretty much the same for all E46 convertibles. Thanks for watching.